Hello, and welcome to episode 22 of Pixel Focus Podcast, where we provide insights and updates into the world of virtual photography. Today's topic will be discussing overcome limitations as a virtual photographer with our guest speaker, who we'll introduce in a little bit. This episode is pre-recorded, so we won't be able to answer any of your questions live, sadly. But thanks for watching and listening for anyone who is watching at the current time. I'm in Seven Specters, and with me, as always, my co-host, Sanoji5. It's been a day, hasn't it, bud?
Yeah. Oi, 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 oi.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's definitely been a day. But I think we'll be fine. We'll get through it. We're gonna be straight as we always are. But
So we have quite a bit of news, which I am personally excited for, and I can't wait to dive in. So what are we covering first in the news?
yeah. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and start with the fourth focus. So, the fourth focus, a guest who has actually been on our podcast before. You guys know me. I never remember exactly which episode they were on, but he was here. His name is Mick. He does go by the fourth focus, though. He does have a new photo mode database. So basically, that is to allow any kind of virtual photographer or anybody really to see what games there are out there that have a photo mode attached to them. An official photo mode, not one using any outside tools or anything like that. Ones where you can go ahead and get straight into taking pictures if you would like to. So definitely go check that out. That is an awesome initiative that he's starting. Next up, we have Sifu. So for anybody who doesn't know, Sifu is a game where you have a sort of martial arts arcade arena fighter type
Mm-hmm.
of style, and that game is actually having a photo mode competition that is up right now. Now, as far as details, you can go to the link that we will have below to see about any and all extra details you may want on it, when it starts, when it ends, and any other prizes that they may be hosting along with this competition. Now, next up, we have a bit of good news. We did just talk about games that have PMs now. So, currently, we just had news that Hogwarts and Alan Wake 2, and that's Hogwarts Legacy, by the way, both games have recently received official photo modes. So if anybody plays Hogwarts Legacy or Alan Wake 2, you can now go straight into a photo mode. You don't have to worry about getting tools from anywhere else or anything like that if you're on PC. And for those who are not on PC, you do not have to worry about just taking screenshots by disabling HUDs or whatever other means that you may take them. You now have an official photo mode that you can use to take any VPs that you want.
Nice. And I've been seeing some quite crazy pictures from both of those games recently, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
been really nice.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty awesome to be honest. I do also want to go ahead and say we do not have a link for this, by the way, but we have mentioned it multiple times on previous episodes. The Photo Mode Awards will be starting on June 17th, so less than a week away. So, everybody, go ahead and start figuring out which photos you want to go ahead and submit for the Photo Mode Awards. They do have their categories up on their website. You can actually find them at thephotomodeawards.com. If you go ahead and look that up, it'll be one of the first things to pop up. You can go there and start looking at the categories so that you can be able to start selecting what photos you want to submit for the awards.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, as you were saying earlier, yeah. Um, More than likely we're gonna see some Alan Wake 2 and Hogwarts Legacy photos in the Photo Mode Awards. So yeah, those crazy photos you were talking about, we'll probably see them.
Mm-hmm. I do have a little bit of news, and then we can move on. We did have a bit of a Ghost of Tsushima Legends, sort of like last minute situation where we're like, hey, let's just get some photos and all that. And so we do have an entry is from X LVP, and we'll definitely be reaching out to you. We only had one in submission, but we're still going to follow through with that. So we'll reach out to you on your prize. So congratulations on
Hey, congratulations.
that. All right. So on
All right.
to the topic. And what's the topic again?
So, the topic that we will be discussing today, we're going to be talking with a great friend of ours about how certain virtual photographers who may live in countries outside of, maybe the US or certain areas in Europe and other parts of the world that may receive games early on when it's like when it's initially released. There's some countries in certain areas that either may not get them immediately or they were supposed to and may have had a delay, and in some cases unfortunately don't even get them until way further out because of those situations. And we'll be discussing a little bit further in detail on how these can be a bit of a hardship for virtual photographers out there. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. And with that being said, we are going to introduce our guest today. His name is Renzo. He is a Wired Productions creator and also a member of AC First Civ, or the ones who came before, which we have had guests on the show in the past who are also from that group. That group is kind of a news outlet for all things Assassin's Creed, but they also very much have a department that focuses on virtual photography and has a community for Assassin's Creed that is definitely revolving around that. He also is followed by Control Remedy,
Hey, let's go.
Bethesda LATAM, and 505 Games. So, Renzo, hello. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hi guys. Hi. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, of course. We're definitely happy to have you on, man. We want to go ahead and get straight into it. Um, as you know, we're going to be talking about, like the difficulties that you may face. I know I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, you're from Argentina, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I have heard you mention at times where you've had difficulties when it comes to a game that either may have like a delayed release or you may not see it for a very long time. When it comes to certain games having like their release schedules and everything like that, amongst other things, whether it be like some kind of translation situation, where they won't, have that. I'm not sure about your country specifically with that part, but I do know other countries have difficulties in that. And then, just anything that you may go ahead and bring some insight to us about that you deal with specifically. So, with that being said, I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the situation of having certain games be delayed to have a release in your particular area?
Yeah, I mean, that I don't think it happens quite often.
Right.
Um, but yeah, we living in Latin America, we usually
Mhm.
have some issues like other countries in the world when it comes to, for example, localization stuff,
Right.
not having the games translated or with voiceovers
Right.
in Latin American Spanish. It
Mhm.
happens. We usually have the games in English or
Mhm.
um, in Spanish from Spain, which is quite different from ours.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and yeah, and usually certain countries like Argentina, for example,
Mhm.
have some issues with games related to their costs.
Okay.
Uh, it's true that some stores, like for example the Xbox store,
Hmm.
uh, has relatively lower prices than the rest of the world
Okay.
in games. But for example, here in Argentina, we have some high taxes
Yeah. Gotcha.
than might get a game from being, I don't know, $60 to almost 100, and
Oh
that's a
wow.
Oh,
lot.
dang.
And then
Wow.
I'm yeah, I'm speaking basic editions, not deluxe, not gold. That goes beyond. And yeah, that's also an issue that we might experiment here in Latin America, where a lot of countries don't have a very good economic situation as
Okay.
the
Hmm.
rest of the world, maybe.
Hmm.
So there, yeah, those are some limitations that we have to live with. Yeah,
Yeah. So that I can definitely understand, like you being a VP, um, just it might not even be the situation of a delay or something like that. I know that happens, but not as often as obviously, like you mentioned, just the prices of things being so, in my opinion, astronomically higher than what other places will pay for.
And is this
yeah,
through
exactly.
the digital marketplace still with a high price, or is this through
Yeah,
physical?
yeah, it's digital stores. I
Really?
I think
Okay.
Mm,
physical versions are even pricier. Yeah,
Really,
wow.
the physicals are
yeah,
more pricey? Oh man.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
guess considering
So
like they materials and everything like that would kind of add on to that.
yeah, and also shipping and stuff like that,
Hmm.
Mm.
Right.
distribution.
Do you think
So
are oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, 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 no. Go ahead.
Um, I was actually going to ask you, do you are there like I know certain areas have things like tariffs or any kind of export and import fees. So like for you guys, I guess there might be like a higher import fee for things that are shipped to you.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Mm,
That is an issue that we've had here for a long time.
right.
Bringing stuff from overseas or from other countries is especially expensive. There's a lot of taxes, and that
Mm,
obviously translates to games and stuff like that. So yeah, we got it tough sometimes related to that, and it makes it hard to keep up with trends. Like a new game drops, you want to shoot it.
right.
Everyone is talking about it.
Hmm.
It's trending, and maybe you can't afford it, and
Right.
time passes, and you lost the train, you could say.
Yeah. Hmm.
So it
Right.
can
Right.
be
Right.
very very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that would be discouraging.
So going back to
Yeah.
your statements a little bit earlier, you mentioned about language translations. Uh, is your language in your region just not common enough for voice acting for that, or
um yeah, yeah.
really?
There are not many games that feature a Latin American Spanish uh, dub. We usually get games that have English voice actings, and maybe Spanish from Spain.
Okay.
But yeah, there are not many games that feature Latin American voiceovers. Yeah, and
Mm,
Is it just
not
a hard
even
language to
subtitles.
learn to be able to do it? I'm going off in the rabbit
Uh,
trail. Yes, I know, but I'm just wanting to elaborate a little bit more. just, I'm just more
no,
curious.
no, don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just more
I
curious
think
on
it.
complications
Yeah,
of why.
I think that it might be related to cost and
okay.
time.
Mm,
Like if you need if you have to feature an extra voiceover,
Hmm.
you need to get to do castings, to get the actors, pay them. That might delay the release,
Right.
uh, and there's a lot of stuff involved
Hmm.
that might cost to not have. certain certain voiceovers.
Right.
But yeah, I think that also happens in other countries in the world. I think that happens the same to Koreans and
Hmm.
countries like that that usually don't get this kind of localization in games. And yeah,
Yeah, I know. I do believe it was my friend from Croatia, I want to say, who tends to have a lot of that issue too.
Hmm.
And he
yeah,
tells me a
exactly.
lot of, yeah, he tells me a lot of times, even with what you're dealing with, Renzo, that he's not able to get certain games because they're so pricey. Um, so a lot of times, like thankfully within the group of them that I'm in, some of our friends and everything will sometimes help him get some games or something like that. But it's just it shouldn't even really have to take that, you know. Um, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously the world can't be perfect and not everybody can get everything. We understand that, but at the same time, you know, I guess just certain things, it kind of seems like there's a disregard for certain areas, but we can understand to a degree the um the difficulty in just how much it would cost in order to do these things. So I can understand where even through what you said, you were kind of mentioning both sides where it's like, okay, yeah, we don't get these things, but at the same time there is a cost to it, right?
Hmm.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I mean I do like just your perspective on that. I wanted to also go ahead and mention I know that Ghost of Tsushima was I don't know if it was that they had a delay or if it was that they weren't going to release the PC port to certain areas. I don't know if that affected you.
Um, I know what you mean. Like,
Hmm. Or your
you mean
area.
the stuff that you have to link your PlayStation account and to your Steam account. Yeah, that leaves games out of so many countries. I
Hmm.
think Argentina supports PlayStation. Is supported by PlayStation, so I
Okay.
don't think it will be an issue. I can't assure you because I unfortunately don't have a PlayStation,
Hmm.
but I think our country is supported, and in this case we should be okay. But yeah, I know that there were hundreds of countries that
Hmm.
uh, could not access the game if that
Yeah.
goes on. I mean, it is terrible. A lot of people who I bet were uh, happy to play the game
Hmm.
have been able to. It must be heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
What
And
platform are you take your photos on?
exactly what I was about to ask.
I take all my shots on a Xbox Series S.
Hey,
Oh,
okay.
so you're an Xbox shooter.
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Renzo, why did I always think that you were a PC gamer?
What?
For
No.
some reason I was thinking you were a PC gamer like this whole time.
Nice.
No, 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 not at
I
all.
don't know.
No,
I don't know why.
yeah, no, I can't afford a gaming PC.
Oh, I
But yeah,
understand. They're pricey. They're very expensive.
Well, there you go.
yeah.
If you're on the Xbox, you can take amazing shots like Lorenzo. Renzo
Yeah, just like Renzo here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I'm very happy with my Xbox. Yeah, I'm very
yeah,
happy with it.
yeah. And honestly, it's so amazing to see that even through all the difficulties that you may end up facing with the price ranges and all the other things that we mentioned, um you have definitely been able to really make a, an impact, honestly, in the VP world with not only your shots, but the things that you have been a part of. Like we mentioned earlier, you are a Wired Productions creator. You also are a part of the ones who came before um, group as well, and it's amazing to see, like, even through any difficulties that you may have had just due to being in your region, that you have been able to regardless have this kind of footing within the community. It's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta say that I feel blessed by the way the community has received me since I started taking shots and all the opportunities I've had, to be a creator for Wired, and
Hmm.
especially being able to work with the ones who came before
Hmm.
it, as a Latin American creator and
Hmm.
virtual photographer. I'm grateful and I feel blessed to have these chances because there's not many of us. To be honest,
Right.
there's not a lot of people from Latin America
Hmm.
in the community, and we sometimes uh, have different kinds of difficulties and
Yeah.
obstacles
Yeah.
uh, when it comes to VP and as creators in general.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel very grateful.
Could you speak on some of the other difficulties that you may face when it comes to like being a content creator and VP from Latin America, other than just like what happens with the games, maybe something community wise that makes it a little bit more difficult?
Yeah, there's a particular thing I haven't seen to this day. I've been in the community for a little less than 2 years now,
Right.
um, and I haven't seen the collaborations between studios, publishers
Mm-hmm.
with Latin American creators.
Mm.
Um, you know, I want to mention some examples.
Okay.
PlayStation France, PlayStation Deutschland, Bandai Namco Deutschland. I've seen those kind of
Okay.
companies collaborate with certain VPs from those countries, France,
Mm-hmm.
Germany, even I think UK too,
Right.
where the publishers, the studios give keys for games
Mm-hmm.
to the VPs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, that's awesome. I celebrate every time I see that happens because each VP that gets a key from a company is a
Right.
win for the community
Right. Right. Right.
because it's a little step forward. Us being, seen as
Mm-hmm.
legit creators.
Yeah.
That not always happens. And I haven't seen that in Latin America. Like we have regional accounts for big studios,
Mm-hmm.
publishers, companies,
Yeah.
and you don't see that here. Um, I don't want to be disrespectful because I've got a lot of love and support from certain official branches, like you mentioned, Bethesda Latin America. They follow me. They
Mm-hmm.
shared and left comments on all of on many posts from me.
Oh, can you
Ubisoft
mention?
Latin America,
Okay. Okay. So you
yeah,
said Ubisoft Latin America,
yeah,
and you said
Ubisoft,
Oh,
Bethesda.
nice.
you said they follow you as well.
Bethesda follows me, yeah.
Oh, but
Uh,
that's oh, okay.
Ubisoft,
So you're saying okay, gotcha.
yeah,
Oh,
Got
okay.
and yeah, I've got interactions, very wholesome interactions from Ubisoft, Bandai Namco,
it.
Latin
Right.
America. PlayStation Latin America hosts a share of the week, just like the
Yeah.
main PlayStation account.
Mhm.
Uh, and I love to see that, even if I can't take part,
Mhm.
it is something that I love to see, and it's very much appreciated as VPs. But
Right.
yeah, you don't see these kind of collaborations where you get a key for a game.
Oh,
They are pricey, and it will be very welcome if we could get these kind of collaborations with
yeah.
studios and publishers.
Okay, I
And
see
you
what
see
you're
it on
saying.
another side of the world. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, because honestly, just simple fact of how pricey they are to have that kind of connection, to have that kind of interaction between creators and the studios or any other portions of the business to legitimize you all as creators within Latin America and recognize the kind of issues that you guys do face and say, okay, let us go ahead and partner with some of them so that we can give them keys and show our support to what they have going on. That would show support to you guys just as a whole, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I agree
Gotcha.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do have a question. Sort of going back a little bit on your statement that there's not a lot of VPers in your region that does VP. My question is sort of, I guess, twofold. Is why do you think that is? That there's this because when you said small, I'm thinking you can sort of count on your fingers. And two is like, why is it small? But also two, is there a way that we can expand and reach out to more people? Because I just did a Google search again. I don't know if this is correct or updated, but apparently, the Global Web Index says that up to 20 million registered players are in Argentina. And wow. I'm just wondering, if you're saying that there's such a small VP, is it because of the money, or is it because the focus is more on a different game set than virtual photography?
If I had to give you an answer, I'd say I think it's more related to virtual photography as an art form is not very known outside our community or outside the gaming industry, maybe. Because I think a lot of people play games in different platforms in Latin America, just like the rest of the world. But yeah, I think maybe VP is not very known. Uh, that might be one of the reasons why you don't see many people from our from Latin America doing virtual photography, sharing their shots. I've seen people that from countries Latin America that used to share, for example, the PS share when you take a screenshot and share it on socials, but not as VP, just they sharing stuff from their games, but not with that purpose, that artistic purpose. And I think, yeah, it's because virtual photography, maybe in Latin America and also in other parts of the world, is not very known. It's not mainstream. That's what I mean. And
so
yeah,
how many?
that I think that.
Got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
How many members can you tell us are in the LATAM area that are VPers? Do you know that number, or could you give us an estimate?
No, I honestly, I can give you a number. I could tell you VPs from here that come to my mind. Yeah, from different countries. I could do that.
Yeah, give them a
For
shout out. Go ahead and give
example,
them a shout out.
yeah, sure, of course. I mean, first that come to mind, I've got some friends from Mexico. You got Ceci, Carla, and Wendy Rufino. Yeah, they are very talented. You have people in Brazil like Renan. Renan is one of the biggest VPs out there. I think he got like 9K followers on Twitter.
Ooh, nice.
He's huge. Yeah, you have people like Rai and Visione, also crazy talented VPs from Brazil. And in Argentina, well, aside from me, you guys probably know Juan. He's very talented.
Oh,
He
okay.
might be one
Juan
of
from
the,
Argentina.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's one of the most well known.
Yeah, he's awesome.
His work is great. Yeah, and you have Silvara, but there are not many of us.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Like these are all the Latin American VPs that come to mind.
Hmm.
I think it's less than 10. There may be more, and maybe I haven't found them. That could
Mm-hmm.
happen, but there's very few of us in if you compare to North America, Europe, Asia. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I guess definitely considering the fact that just virtual photography as a whole right now is kind of a lesser known part of the gaming
Mm-hmm.
community. So for not only it to be so small and niche just as a whole, then to, you know, spotlight it to like Latin American countries, um, I guess yeah, that number would be a lot smaller, at least for the ones who are publicly known.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
yeah,
yeah, you guys definitely are really kind of the ones who are just representing your areas, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, so that's I mean,
yeah,
that's in
exactly.
all honesty, it's admirable in
Yeah, it's
my
pretty
opinion.
cool.
Um, but we would love to see, either more come through or just making it a bit easier on um areas within Latin America for you guys to be able to get things, like different games and things like that without having to, have all these limitations so that more VPs can be a part of the community, you know what I mean? Um of course, that's a
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
different yeah, yeah, that's a different kind of fight. We understand that, but it's still one worth fighting for, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course. I think um, the virtual photography community enriches from different cultures, having people from different places with different perspectives, from with different ways to approach our art, you know.
Mhm.
And I really wish we can see many more virtual photographers from Latin America representing uh,
Mm-hmm.
our countries in the community, and because that will definitely help us be seen uh, in the community. Like
Yep.
Mhm.
to say, yeah, we exist, we're here, we are doing this stuff, we want to be seen, and we'd love to get uh, good opportunities as people from other parts of the world who, of course, deserve it. But
Right.
yeah, I'd love to see that happen here.
Hey, maybe I mean, I know that we have for a lot of different either minorities, whether it be for racial reasons or for gender reasons, whatever that may be, or whatever creed or whatever it is that you may believe or whatever. I know that there are a couple of like not necessarily communities, but there are some pages and everything. And also I do believe at some points events during like certain times of the year where, like I think I saw one. It was like a women's virtual photography page, right? And it
Yeah,
like celebrated that. Maybe there could be one for Latin Americans, or any other kind of grouping that allows for people who may have the same situations go on as you guys, for you guys to kind of come together and make something like that. I mean, of course, it's going to take whoever is willing to put that kind of thing together, but
yeah,
yeah, it would be really cool to see, maybe a few Latin American creators come together and make a like page to support you guys.
Mm-hmm. That was sort
yeah.
of
That would be
my
great.
question. Was that you mentioned the community is small, and I was like, well, we have access to a large community. How can our community help you? Would you you mentioned that having keys from developers would be nice, but again, they're developers, and as we mentioned in an earlier episode, that uh, developers have to sort of weigh the cost of giving a key to someone versus keeping it for production reasons and all that.
Right.
Um, because of the large prices, would it be helpful if we had the ways of doing it to be able to send you keys ourselves in the community if we had extras or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can we help you, one, get more people in the community, but also two, you mentioned the large prices, but probably for us is not as expensive. So, but again, I don't know if translations of because I know some keys are restricted versus global, but I'm just wondering, do you have any
Yeah,
ideas that the
yeah, that
community can
happens.
help you out?
I mean, I want to mention this because I think it's important. Uh, the community, the members of the community,
Mm-hmm.
really care a lot for each other. I want to give an example. G mentioned Turret before.
Yeah.
I want to give a huge shout out to her because in October 2023, she was the one who gifted me a code for AC
Oh,
Mirage. She was very
wow.
generous, and it's something that I'll never forget. And so shout out to her. This kind of stuff, you see it in the community, and it's
Mm-hmm.
freaking great because people truly care for their friends, other artists,
Yeah.
um, and that's something that's present in the community.
Mm-hmm.
I think um, that I love for developers, studios, publishers to believe in us and not only give us keys, but
Right.
something else is consider us, for example, for creators programs.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great because I always see people from Europe, Asia, again North America
Mm-hmm.
being accepted as creators
Right.
in different programs. Uh, and I'd love to see that happen more often for Latin American virtual photographers. I can speak for other kinds of content creation because maybe
Mm-hmm.
streamers or YouTubers
Mm-hmm.
from here get that chance.
Right.
Uh, but we virtual photographers have it a bit harder because
Yeah.
I tried myself. I don't want to point specific programs because I respect all studios and publishers, but if
Right.
you're not a YouTuber or streamer, and if you're not from certain areas,
Mm-hmm.
they put it very hard for you to enter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
that's also a way not only to get keys, but to get recognition as a creator, as a
Right.
virtual photographer.
Right.
So
So
you
yeah,
mentioned, yeah. Oh no, go ahead.
yeah, no, please.
I was just gonna say you mentioned that they made it more difficult for you all in certain aspects to be a part of these creator programs and things of the sort. Um, so are there any particular like regional um just regional limitations or restrictions? I mean, I wouldn't think so, but have you ever noticed any kind of things that maybe not like deliberately are like, oh, you have to be from these areas, but just something that kind of doesn't apply maybe to your region and that makes it a little bit tougher for you to be a part of these creator programs? It's almost like a wall.
Yeah, I definitely think there is a wall for us.
Hmm.
Um, on paper, there isn't
Right, of
because
course.
when you send a form, an
Hmm.
application,
Yeah.
uh, our countries are there. You can say, yeah, I'm from Argentina. That
Hmm.
limitation doesn't exist there.
Right, of course.
But to this day, I still haven't seen any virtual photographers from Latin America be
Okay.
accepted in a creator program, network, whatever.
Okay.
Like I've seen a lot, and it's always, United Kingdom,
Hmm.
France, maybe Germany,
Yeah.
Australia, New Zealand, uh, United States. Yeah, on
Hmm.
paper there isn't such a wall,
Right.
but I still haven't seen people from here get that kind of opportunity. So I remain a bit skeptical. If,
Hmm.
uh, but yeah, that's something that I'd love to see, uh, because it would help us get a lot more maybe visibility, you know.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, that's it.
Okay. Cool. So it's just where we we want to see less of a barrier for you all, and for any other countries that might be suffering through the same, just less of a barrier for countries that are maybe not the primary ones that tend to be featured. I definitely understand that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm. Man. Yeah, no, this is definitely so far been an amazing conversation. Um, it's really put a lot of, well, insight to just this entire, honestly, problem. We're seeing that you all and people from other countries that may not have access to certain things may not, um and in some cases, not that they don't have access, but are made much more difficult to be able to be a part of the community. That's terrible. We want everybody to be able to enjoy themselves as virtual photographers and be within our community, and the bigger it is, the merrier, right? Um,
yeah,
so like in Seven said, if you can think of anything that we, as maybe Pixel Focus or any other communities within the community, can do in order to bring awareness to this situation, in order to support the situation that you guys are facing. Definitely let us know if you have anything that you can think of even at this moment. You can go ahead and mention it. But we just want to do what we can to bring that spotlight to, okay, Latin America, other places like I said earlier, Croatia, um, certain areas within like the African continent, not necessarily what some people may think all of Africa is, but like just certain areas. I know that some places over there deal with situations too that they have a similar issue as you do. So, you know, if and actually for anybody who's listening as well, if you guys are facing this problem too in your respective countries, go ahead and shout out your country. Go ahead
Mhm.
and say, where you're from, rep where you're at. Because we want to get all of you guys involved. So, because in all honesty, if you are facing that situation, then people in your country are too.
Yep.
Like other people are in your country too. Um, so
Yeah, if you have
basically, yeah.
Twitter or X,
Hmm.
definitely jump on there, tag Pixel Focus,
Yeah, tag Pixel
N7,
Focus.
Sun, myself.
Yep.
And I was actually thinking, we were talking about 2 episodes ago about Pixel Focus, like probably not maining it, but creating a database for all resources. I'm just thinking that'll be fun if whatever this database is being hosted by or something, we just have a list of people who are in what region. So then people
Hmm.
can take a look at the database and go, oh, I never heard of this person. Oh, they're from this country. And then, if people hear about virtual photography, they can get that link and go, oh, I didn't know this person was from my country. I'm going to
Right.
go, ask them about this. So I
Yeah.
think maybe
And
adding that to our
link up.
database, our future database.
And I'm not gonna lie, in seven, you kind of low key told the secret. We didn't actually tell anybody what we were gonna be doing, but it's okay.
Huh?
No, you're
What?
good. but, but it's okay. I could just go ahead. I'll let them know. So yeah, as in seven said, we are going to be having a resource list that we are compiling. It is not finished yet, but it will be coming soon. We are pairing with the Photo Mode magazine in order to do so. We are still thinking of different ideas as to what to implement in that resource list, which is why what N7 just mentioned would be a fantastic way to get some of y'all connected with each other. So yeah, no, I'm really glad that she mentioned that though, N7, because I will definitely talk to Jack about it so that we can go ahead and see how we can implement that into the resource list. That's an
Full
awesome idea.
Also, full disclosure, you did say something that you were talking to Jack, but I thought that was it. I did not know that there was
Yeah.
progress on that. So
Yeah.
I did not know. I'm just gonna say it for the record that I was not
You're
trying to spoil anything. It was
you're
just
good.
I was like, this would be cool to add to our alleged database that's going to happen. I didn't know we had progress on it, so I'm happy. I'm
Yeah.
stoked. That's cool.
Yeah, we have progress on it. We are currently working on it. We've reached out to a decent amount of people in regards to just getting that compiled. So I since the cat's out of the bag, I'll just kind of let you guys know basically what's going to be happening with it. Um, so pretty much what's going to be within the resource list is we will be having any and all creators that have some sort of community event or maybe articles that are referring to helpful things for virtual photographers. Just an all out database for a virtual photographer to be able to go find anything and everything involving VP, which that's what our show is about. So that's why we are going ahead and connecting with the Photo Mode magazine in order to get that out to you guys as soon as possible, and you guys can not have to. Oh, also one other part, we do have hashtag lists that will be on
Nice.
there as
Yeah,
well.
that was a huge request from people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people want that. I know that there are a couple of lists out there like that. We are trying to compile not only hashtags for, like, maybe companies or something like that, but also just whether it be events, whether it be companies, whether it be helpful understandings as to uh, which hashtags will help you when you are posting
Mm-hmm.
on social media. Um, whether it be like, just hashtags for like different things like the Photo Mode Awards or the Virtual Photography Awards or whatever. We will be having all of those on there as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But just to get back to the topic, we are gonna go ahead and talk about getting just this whole situation to bring awareness to some of these particular individuals who are within different countries who do struggle when it comes to being a virtual photographer uh, due to some of these limitations. We're going to go ahead and try to see how we can get that in there as well. And Renzo, I did want to go ahead and also say to you, just, dude, kudos, applause, huge big ups to you for just striving through as a Latin American virtual photographer. It is absolutely awesome and inspiring to hear everything that you go through within your region, but have, again, like we mentioned earlier, been able to be a part of a creator program, to be a part of this, honestly, like, kind of, for the virtual photography community, even monumental group of the ones who came before, to you know be someone who is followed by Latin American Bethesda, and all these other companies and everything like that. It's so inspiring to know that even through everything we talked about, you have been able to accomplish so much.
Mm-hmm.
So big applause to you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. I'm just trying to do what I love, uh,
Hmm.
and enjoy, and aside from all the struggle and that, I love virtual photography. I love video games. I love our community,
Yeah,
and
man.
yeah, I keep sharing my stuff as long as I enjoy it, and I hope that in the future there will be more creators from these countries, from Latin America, and I hope we will be seen
Hmm.
in the rest of the world. So yeah, I want to thank you for providing me with this space,
Hmm.
and from for giving me a voice as a
Yeah.
Latin American VP and creator, because it means a lot. And I know there's not many of us, but
Hmm.
we exist. We are sharing our stuff. There's talent here, and we matter. So thank you,
Yes.
both, guys.
Yes, you do. Anytime. Anytime. How much time we got?
Well, we should be wrapping up. We have about 7 minutes left, but I think we can wrap up if you want to.
I don't want to wrap up yet. I actually do want to go ahead and ask him something else.
Cool.
So Renzo, on a
Yeah.
lighter note, what what's something for you that has been like just as a virtual photographer in your own journey? Um, the coolest thing that's happened to you as a VP.
Um, the coolest thing. Yeah, I want to say that getting to be part of the community, finding so many
Mhm.
people with a common love uh, for video games,
Mhm.
for virtual photography, for photography, be a part of this sort of artistic movement that's
Yeah.
going on, and it's still in early stages, uh, and be a part of it, and representing my country. And yeah, I think it's that it's being a part of this community, getting to know a lot of amazing people like you
Mhm.
guys, for example, getting to be part of something that is bigger and greater than myself, and this feeling that I've found a place where I belong and where I can be myself, share my stuff, my vision. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, the that's the biggest thing that's happened to me as a VP, and I feel truly blessed for that.
That's awesome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's such
Very
a wholesome
nice.
answer.
Yeah.
We love that. We love the wholesome moments on Pixel Focus.
Oh
It's
yeah,
great.
100%.
But yeah, no, definitely we hear you, man. You and like you said, you and all the other content creators from Latin America, you do matter 100,000%. And we're very, very
Thanks, man.
happy anytime, man. We are very, very happy that you guys are a part of our community, and we welcome you in complete and totality. Um, so we are extremely not only happy and but grateful that you're a part of our community because it makes us stronger to be so diverse. You know?
Yeah, thank you. It means a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, N7, did you have any final thoughts?
Just repeating again, if you've made it to this part of the show, and if you are in the LATAM area, make sure to tag Pixel Focus N7 underscore Spectre Synergy 5, just so you can be heard, and we will see if we can get the community bigger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Renzo, did you have any final thoughts that you wanted to go ahead and speak on?
Um, well, I think I've said almost everything, but yeah, I'll say it again. I'm grateful for this space, for being able to talk from
Mhm.
my perspective as a VP from Latin America,
Yeah.
and yeah, hopefully more people from our countries will start doing VP in the future. Will be hopefully will be there will be more of us, and will be seen by the rest of the world. Hopefully. That's my wish.
Heck yeah, dude. Yes, sir. All right. And I guess I'll go ahead and say this last part too. Um, I'm gonna be real with you. If they struggling, right, as we've mentioned in certain aspects, then us as other VPs should be doing everything that we can to improve because they're struggling so much and yet they're able to produce all these awesome shots. So why is it that some of y'all aren't doing your neck workouts. Why is that? What's up with that? I know you're not doing them. I know you're not. Cause guess what? Some of y'all ain't even posting, bruh. So I know you're not doing your neck workouts, and it's probably for some of y'all. It's probably because your neck's too tired from trying to get those verticals. But guess what? It wouldn't be if you lifted your neck workouts. If you did it, it wouldn't be. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyway, I got one other thing to mention. Renzo here is not only an inspiration, but an absolute pioneer of being a Latin American virtual photographer who is bringing his amazing skills and VP to the scene, to the community, to the world, to the public eye, and is doing absolutely incredible things. Like we mentioned, he has been able to be a Wired Productions creator, a part of the ones who came before, followed by Bethesda, followed by 505 Games, mentioned in multiple facets of the community. So, again, we are so grateful to have had him on the show today. And we thank you for going ahead and watching us here at Pixel Focus. We thank you for tuning in. We thank you for being a part of our community. And we love you all. Thank you so much. Have a good one. This has been Pixel Focus. See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Started as a whisper, message from a new world I'd never known. Something about it felt like it'd been waiting my whole life. Is this home? I can hear each sound calling my name, and I feel angels around when I start to sing, and suddenly it feels like heaven is not so far away. Tell me, can you hear the symphony? Panic, panic, I can't help but think that it's meant to be, that I'm finally right where I'm supposed to. If I let you into the secret, would you listen? I can hear